Hello and good evening to everyone. It is February 2026, back from San Francisco and the Bay Area. What a beautiful setting for Super Bowl 60. Many people said a few years ago the Super Bowl should be at SoFi Stadium every year because it's so new and it's beautiful. It should be in Las Vegas when it was there 2 years ago. It should be there every year because it's gorgeous and it's beautiful. I agree in part, but one of the beautiful things about the Super Bowl every year is the fact that the game is held at different stadiums. Los Angeles 4 years ago, Arizona 3 years ago, Las Vegas 2 years ago, New Orleans last year, and of course this year at the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area, Santa Clara, that entire Silicon Valley area, gorgeous. Again, having been now to 29 consecutive Super Bowls dating back to January 1998, Super Bowl 32, my very first, I can tell you, and many people ask, one of the most beautiful things about the Super Bowl, a great attribute of the Super Bowl, is the fact that it does travel and it goes to different venues and different cities, and of course some beautiful stadiums, some newer stadiums, state of the art of course, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So that is one of the most exciting things about a Super Bowl. The San Francisco Bay Area, I do have to compliment San Francisco, the city, the entire area. Wonderful. You can spend so much time in the San Francisco and the Bay Area, of course. I had great pleasure to spend a considerable amount of time in downtown San Francisco, near Union Square, Nob Hill, Russian Hill, the North Beach. Many would consider the Italian section home of great Italian food, of course, and a great nightlife. Lots of activities going on, Super Bowl related. Super Bowl experience at the famous Moscone Center, Convention Center, right there in downtown San Francisco. Fisherman's Wharf. Spent a considerable amount of time at Fisherman's Wharf. Beautiful early morning breakfasts right there in the bay. Across the bay, you can see famous sites such as Alcatraz Island, and of course, off to the left, as one gazes from Fisherman's Wharf, you can see, of course, the famous Golden Gate Bridge. Very visible, and having an opportunity the day after the Super Bowl to even drive over the Golden Gate Bridge into Sausalito, enjoying that entire area, going up to the Muir Woods, the big redwoods, the forest country. Oh my goodness, so gorgeous. The entire area, the cable cars going up and down the hills, mesmerizing, magnificent, beautiful. The Palace of the Fine Arts with the Presidio hosted so many theatrical events. Sting, the musical artist, with the concert on Friday. The Killers, musical artist, big concerts on Saturday. And of course, obviously, Super Bowl Sunday, the Seahawks versus the Patriots. Fantastic. I credit Bad Bunny on a very interesting, very colorful, and very entertaining halftime show. I thought the message of love and everybody unite together. I love the ending with all the flags, Bad Bunny and all of his participants following behind him, and obviously shouting out all of the different various areas, Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and so many others. And of course, the United States, and marching off the field together in unison. I thought it was nice, and I thought it sent an international appeal. And I know from reading and discussing some of the policy with the NFL officials, NFL executives, and certainly many of those affiliated with the NFL, that the Super Bowl is out to reach a international appeal. There's no question about it. And with Bad Bunny, you have a artist who is very internationally acclaimed, obviously coming from Puerto Rico, but certainly very, very popular here in the United States with music, a multi-Grammy winner, and certainly a very talented performer. I like the fact that he also joined in and brought into his show other musical artists such as Ricky Martin, Lady Gaga, exceptional. Cardi B as well. Great entertainers. If you look closely, amongst other members that were on there were some actors and actresses as well, such as Pedro Pascal was right there on one of the stages doing a little bit of dancing. Jessica Alba, I believe, was there as well. A quick review of some of the faces of all the talented people that put it together. I thought very, very well done. And certainly Levi Stadium, which is the home of the San Francisco 49ers, how ironic a division rival such as the Seattle Seahawks come into town. But the 49er fans were very nice to the Seahawks fans from what I witnessed the entire week, and including on game day. There were a lot of 49er fans that were there for the Super Bowl. For example, when Joe Montana was introduced because of his, obviously, his Super Bowl wins, and he's certainly from the Bay Area. Jerry Rice was on hand as well, another 49er legend. Steve Young, another 49er legend. Tom Brady was on hand as well. And certainly he grew up in the San Francisco area. And I believe one of his favorite teams growing up was the 49ers, growing up in the Bay Area. So even Tom Brady on hand. So folks, it was a classic. It was a fantastic atmosphere and just an awesome game. You will notice, of course, that we are wearing the Seahawks today. Obviously, the blue and certainly the neon green, the colors of the Seattle Seahawks. Congratulations, champions. That is their second Lombardi Trophy. Their last one was won in Super Bowl 48. And I actually wanted to highlight something. I still have, from 12 years ago, as you know, I've been to 29 Super Bowls now. One of my favorites was right here in New York, New Jersey, at the new MetLife Stadium, the old Meadowlands. MetLife Stadium hosted Super Bowl 48. The Seattle Seahawks beat the Denver Broncos. And I still proudly have this Super Bowl. It was the Seahawks' first ever victory where they beat a very, very good Denver Bronco team, stymied the Broncos and Peyton Manning with that great defense of the Seattle Seahawks. It was the Legion of Boom. If you remember, Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, and a number of others. It was a big day for the Seahawks winning that. Another a nice souvenir that I have from Super Bowl 48 that I really love, and I certainly keep it near and dear, and that is the plaque. You'll see the score. You'll see the champions of Seattle Seahawks winning, again, Super Bowl 48, and the MVP. Actually, the MVP was a defensive star. It was a defensive star whose name escapes me right now, but he was a linebacker, and he had a big play there in the second quarter before half with a pick six, running it back for a touchdown, and pretty much taking the entire life out of the Denver Bronco offense and their team, and certainly catapulted Seattle to a very impressive second half as well. But Russell Wilson, and the interesting thing about this is when I went into the stadium that day, I was one of the first to arrive. I was so excited. And the first player that I saw on the field coming out to warm up was Russell Wilson. And I said to myself, and I mentioned to a few people around me, that I think it's going to be a good day for the Seahawks. I think Russell Wilson is focused. He's excited. He's ready to go. He was smiling. And he's out there running around, running with the football, throwing some passes, warming up, and then obviously went into the locker room, came back out shortly later with all the team and his teammates. And I thought that really was a statement, and it would prove to be a Seahawks day that day. So Super Bowl 48, hard to believe 12 years ago. Another nice memory I did want to add too from Super Bowl 48 from that year. It was in February of 2014. It was Groundhog Day, February 2nd on a Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. But 2 months later, I would pick up my new puppy, a Newfoundland named Boomer, in February of 2014. Excuse me, 2 months later in April. And when I picked him up, he was exactly 2 months old. and I was able to take him home with me. And I asked the owner when his birthday was, because I always want to celebrate the puppy's birthday as he gets older, as we always do. Even today, currently, with my dog Bruno, we always celebrate his birthday. So the owner smiled and he said he was born on a Sunday afternoon, February 2nd. It was Groundhog Day, and it was also Super Bowl Sunday. So that's another special memory I have from a Super Bowl Sunday, knowing that 2 months later I would purchase a puppy who was also born on Super Bowl Sunday. So that obviously in 2014 has a lot of great memory, obviously, for me as well, and my sweet dear Boomer. Folks, I did just wanted to highlight a couple other things. Over my shoulders, you can see the big photo right here. We have the 5-time. He will eventually win another Super Bowl with the Patriots and then win another one with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But Tom Brady, of course, and he was at this Super Bowl. But obviously that photo showing the first 5 Super Bowls won by Tom Brady. Amazing. And I've told people that Tom Brady has won 7, and I've seen all 7, 6 with New England, 1 with Tampa Bay, and then 3 others that he played in. So he's played in 10 Super Bowls. And unfortunately for him, he lost 3 of those, 2 to the Giants in Super Bowls 42 and 46. Eli Manning, the MVP in both of those games. And then, if you remember, the Eagles in Super Bowl 52 beat Tom Brady and the Patriots. So Tom Brady has won 7 Super Bowls altogether, and then he has lost actually 3. He's played in 10. Unbelievably. And all but one of those, all but 2 of those Super Bowls. So the winning 7 wins, Tom Brady, of course, has the record. 5 times he was the Super Bowl MVP. The 2 that he was not, Super Bowl 39, beating the Eagles in Jacksonville, it went to Deion Branch, a wide receiver who had 13 or 14 catches that day. Lots of yardage. He was the MVP, Deion Branch. And then Julian Edelman was the MVP in Super Bowl 53, where the Patriots beat the Rams in a big defensive battle. And to add to that one, in Super Bowl 53, the first person who was on the field that day when I was able to get in early for the Super Bowl was Julian Edelman. And I said, I think it's going to be a big day for the Patriots and Julian Edelman. And boy, was it ever special. So that's the tip of the iceberg in terms of talking about Super Bowls. I did want to highlight a couple other things. We have the program from this year's Super Bowl, obviously Super Bowl 60 right here on display. Right above it is from New Orleans, Super Bowl 47, Ray Lewis and the Ravens over the 49ers. Joe Flacco was the MVP of that Super Bowl. And then I just want to go over to the program right here with the Lombardi Trophy. That was the actual program from Super Bowl 49. Super Bowl 49, where the Patriots beat the Seahawks in the last closing seconds with an interception at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Intercepted Russell Wilson. That was in Super Bowl 49. That is the program. That game was played in Phoenix. You can see the Phoenix Stadium behind you. And certainly right here in the middle is a picture that I took. I had a chance to pick the jersey from my very first Super Bowl. It was either a Denver Bronco or a Green Bay Packer. And there were cheerleaders to add to the photo, and they were working in connection with the NFL at the time. So you could actually have your photo taken. So I chose the Super Bowl 32 logo is right there. January of 98. It's the first Super Bowl I ever went to. And then I'm actually I chose to wear a John Elway jersey, number 7. I chose to wear that. And boy, am I glad I did. Because obviously, John Elway and the Denver Broncos won that Super Bowl. It was their first ever. Denver, if you remember from years ago, I believe they were 0-3 or 0-4 at the time. They had lost to the Giants. They lost to the Redskins. They lost to the 49ers. And they had taken a number of years off before they got back to a Super Bowl. Sure, they lost Super Bowls 21, 24, and another one that's escaping me right now that I just, 22. 21, 22, and 24, right? They were in the Super Bowl 3 out of 4 years and they lost. But they did battle back, 8 years later in Super Bowl 32. And the Broncos, led by John Elway, if you remember the owner with the NFL trophy, this one's for John. So how about that one? So that was the first. And that, obviously that photo, I still have it with me today. When you look back, I've been to 29 Super Bowls. So that photo, folks, 29 years ago from San Diego. And I was able to obviously visit some family. I had a late uncle and aunt who lived in the San Diego area, had a chance to visit them, and just great memories. And I remember my uncle telling me, going back to the airport that Tuesday following the Super Bowl, and he said, Larry, if you love the game so much as you obviously do, he said, you should go every year. Make a point. It's the biggest game of the year. You enjoy it so much, you should go every year. So thank you, Uncle Joe. And I've taken Uncle Joe's advice to heart, and I have gone every year for the last 29 years. And it's been so exciting and so awesome. And what I'm showing you here today, actually, here's a book as well, Cougar Town, USA. It inspired me to be an author and to write a book and publish a book. It's a fictional story about a high school football team trying to get back on track. They've had a few unsuccessful seasons, and they're trying to get back on tap. Cougar Town, USA. And I believe right above that is a helmet from Super Bowl 45 from Dallas. That was the Packers over the Steelers. Hard to believe that that's 15 years ago. So just incredible. Folks, as you can see, almost a life and certainly a journey of football. Sure, we have our law practice, and we love that. And we've been practicing law for nearly 39 years now. But we have been going to Super Bowls for 29 years. So it has been absolutely awesome. And the mini streak that I've been asked about, and I do share, yes, the College Football National Championship is another love. This year we were in Miami to see that great game between Indiana winning their first ever college football national championship over Miami in a great game. The fans were awesome, especially with Miami being at home. It was very exciting. Indiana traveled very well. But for college football, the national championships, that's the mini streak. That's at 26. This year was the 26th in a row for the College Football National Championship. So it has been awesome. We love the World Series. We've been to many. We love the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals, Kentucky Derby, all of the college bowl games, NCAA, first round and second round. We've done the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. And certainly for a number of years, we've done the Final Four as well. That's another awesome time. In fact, March is right around the corner. So March Madness is another awesome time. And we certainly enjoy other sports, golf, NASCAR, tennis. So we take it all in. We take it all in, and it's certainly so enjoyable. Super Bowls. Over those 29 years, there are so many memories. I mean, we could do a 2-hour show talking about all the fantastic memories that we have from the Super Bowls. So many, again, 29 years this year. And the game itself, too, I thought was interesting. I expected a defensive battle. I thought we got it. We certainly got it in the first quarter. If New England did not make the defensive stops and made some of the key defensive stops in the first half, it would have been a runaway. It would have been a blowout, and I think the game just would have got out of control, and it may have been over by halftime. New England made a couple key stops and some big defensive plays, especially in the secondary. And at times, their defensive line was able to get in and pressure the quarterback and keep the receivers at bay. So credit New England, because it was a very stout defensive performance by both Seattle and New England, especially in the first half. Obviously, Seattle still was able to move the ball, at least get into field goal range. They obviously took the lead with 3 field goals, but it's only 9-0. I mean, one score, even a mistake by Seattle, whether it be a fumble or an interception return, could have set up New England, and New England would be right in the game. But Seattle's defense remained very formidable. I love the nickname too, the Dark Side, but they were tough. They were very, very effective and really kept New England out of rhythm. They could not develop the running game. They did not develop the passing game. Seattle was just tremendous with pressure, great coverage, a force to be reckoned with for sure. And then, of course, Seattle was able to come up with some impressive touchdowns. You had the big touchdown there in the fourth quarter to A.J. Barner going out into the flats and obviously wide open when they were expecting a run to the opposite side. And then certainly the interception return, which really sealed the game there too, midway through the fourth quarter. Again, pressure coming to Drake May, and the ball was tipped, ends up in the hands of another defensive linebacker, Mr. Anawusu, number 7, and who runs it back 35 yards or so for the score. That pretty much puts the game out of reach at that point. Seattle would even add a field goal even after that because New England it was an interception. And then New England just, again, could not do anything. Drake May, I believe, will be back. Obviously, great start there for a rookie. I think they will continue. Mike Vrabel is an excellent coach. I look for New England to be competitive again next year. And that AFC, wow, it's going to be wide open. I mean, you add Denver in there with the LA Chargers as well. And then certainly I think Pittsburgh made the playoffs. I think the Steelers are getting better. I think the Bengals and Browns are going to be improving, and they're going to be effective. The Houston Texans look really strong. Jacksonville had a great season. Indianapolis started well, fell off the trail, but I think they're going to be competitive. And then you have Buffalo. And Miami should be getting better. And at some point, the Jets. When the Jets. So let's hope for the Jets' sake that it will be next season. So there's a lot of great football there in the AFC. And NFC, wow, it's going to be a battle. Look at that West Division with Seattle defending Super Bowl champs. And then you have San Francisco, the Rams, who were in the NFC Championship. Just fantastic out there in the NFC West. Hopefully the Cardinals can get better and compete, and they should be able to. In the South, Carolina's better. Tampa Bay is getting better. New Orleans is starting to improve, as well as Atlanta. And then in the North, the Lions kind of fell off the radar there, and so did Green Bay. They just limped into the playoffs barely. But those two will be back. Minnesota will be back. And then obviously, certainly, the Bears. The Bears are back, and they won that division, and they did very well in the playoffs. Overtime loss to the Rams in Chicago. So, and then in the East, of course, the beast of the East, I think, is still going to be the Eagles. Watch for the Giants to improve with John Harbaugh coach. And then certainly the Commanders had a disappointing season, as well as the Cowboys. But look for those two, to come back. I don't expect Dallas and Washington to struggle for too long. Watch at one point the NFC East last year and the year before was very competitive. You had the Eagles and Commanders in the NFC Championship game last year, and it seems to have shifted out west. This year it was the Seahawks and the Rams. So it's going to be very interesting to see, but I think it's wide open. We're going to have some great competition next year. And think about the international audience that I talked about in the opening minutes. Where I was reading about some of the games. There are a few other sites. Australia is on the radar. I think another game will be played in London. I think Ireland for the first time coming up. We've had football in Brazil. We've had football in Mexico. We've had football in London. Amazing. But again, how about that on the radar? Australia and Ireland, add those to the mix. Germany as well. So international appeal. Here comes the NFL. And the Europeans love it. I remember this past year going out to the World Series, Game 7 in Toronto on a Saturday night. Sunday, 4:30 game, kickoff, Bills and Chiefs in Buffalo. The gentleman who actually sat two people away in my row was from Mexico, and he loved football. He was into the game. He was chanting the songs even after the game. Buffalo won. He was singing the song, and he knew a lot about the NFL. And he happened to be in the Buffalo area, so he was able to get tickets for the game. A big soccer fan, but he certainly loved the NFL, and he was looking forward to more. And of course, I told him that he should definitely try to get to a Super Bowl. And I believe he asked me about Super Bowl experiences, and I tried to encourage him and tell him, yes, the Super Bowl is very exciting, and you should definitely try to get there. So, oh, it's been fun. It's hard to believe the NFL season's over, college football is over, the high school football season's over. But folks, now it's time. Watch those winter sports now. College basketball, March Madness is coming around the corner, men's and women's, the NBA, hockey, the NHL, and then certainly college hockey. And then how about the AHL, our local Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins? There is a lot to see. And of course, local high school sports, the wrestling and basketball and swimming. So many great things to enjoy here during the winter. That's what I do. I just get myself focused, and I watch a lot of winter sports, and then baseball is starting up in April. So, and that takes you through the summer. You've got the Kentucky Derby, the first Saturday in May. May 2nd is already on the calendar. So there's a lot of things going on. Later, of course, in the year, it'll be the World Series in October. The NFL season and college football and high school football starts up in August and September. Folks, we've got a great way to celebrate sports. One final thing I'd like to do, though, is I would like to thank the sponsors that have been so nice to me and to the Sports Express and allowing us and helping us in programming and scheduling to bring some great excitement, whether it's local high school coverage and talking about, or college. We do the Sports Express Bowl for the last 11 years. Incredible during the holidays. And now with the college football playoff, that is so incredible. And it's just an awesome, awesome experience. This year's winner, Pizza by Papa's in downtown Scranton. They had 3 out of the 4 semifinalists. They had Indiana as well winning the national championship. So congratulations to Francesca and everyone there at Pizza by Papa's. They were the winner of the 2026 College Football Sports Express Bowl. And then certainly the NFL and the Super Bowl. We want to thank so many, and I do. And I did want to mention a number of those sponsors. First, Dino and Francesco's in Clark Summit, Mike, and everybody there at Dino and Francesco's. Thank you so much, especially your patronage and sponsorship too. For Super Bowl 60, that sponsorship. We certainly thank you. A great restaurant, long time there in the Clark Summit area, Dino and Francesco's. And then so many of the other sponsors that we have had throughout the holiday season and throughout the football season. Coloruso's Cafe in Jessup, Jessup Pizza in Jessup, Quinn's Supermarket in Peckville, Ragnacci's Restaurant in Dunmore, Pizza by Papa's in downtown Scranton, Joseph's Restaurant on Main Street in Peckville, PJ's 1910 Pub located in the Hilton Hotel in downtown Scranton, the Backyard Ale House on Linden Street in Scranton, Atera 519, also located on Linden Street in Scranton, Vincenzo's on Main Avenue in West Scranton, Fratelli's, located on Main Avenue in North Scranton, City Pizza on Main Street in Dixon City, Royal Buffet, located in the Dixon City Commerce Boulevard, Jersey Mike Subs with 2 locations located on Route 6 in Dixon City, and then also located near the Wyoming Valley Mall. Olive Garden in Dixon City. The Texas Roadhouse in 2 locations, Route 6 in Dixon City, and also in Stroudsburg near the Stroud Mall. Rosario's Italian restaurant located at the Viewmont Mall in Scranton and Dixon City. R.J. Burney in downtown Scranton. Rocking Crab in Stroudsburg near the Stroud Mall. TGI Fridays. We want to thank Chris, our manager, who actually did a show with us for the college football playoffs, located on Route 6 in Dixon City, TGI Fridays. So for all of those sponsors, thank you so much for your friendship, for the patronage, and just for being really good people, for offering. Many of them are restaurants, just offering such quality food, great environment, and great atmosphere. For all of those restaurants that we mentioned and all of those businesses that we mentioned, we would invite you to visit them, because they are not only good businesses, but they are good people. And they've always believed that sports are exciting, sports are important, and boy, sports are one of our best things that we have here in life. So we do enjoy it, and we do enjoy getting out to the games, to meet people, and certainly getting out to big events and such exciting events. It makes your travel. You look forward to it every year. I know I do, for the College Football National Championship and the Super Bowl. I look forward to it. It's exciting to see just who's going to play and who's going to get there. That is so exciting. And all those businesses and sponsors that I mentioned, they share in that excitement, and they make this just such a memorable time of the year. The Holiday Sports Express Bowl is one of my favorite times of the year because it's during the holidays, number one. And secondly, it's one of my favorite things, the college football tournament, much like March Madness, the basketball tournament, but it's during the holidays, and it makes things so exciting, and you're looking forward to a new year, and you've got all that great excitement going on at that time. So what a great way to enjoy. Folks, thank you again for joining us here today. Thank you so much. My name is Larry Spegar. I'm the host of the Sports Express. Thank you again. And we certainly look forward to, as sports is ongoing, there's always going to be some great action, and we are looking forward to it. Here in late February, we're getting ready for March and March Madness and all those great sports that are going to be going on right now, and then certainly those that will be coming up here very shortly. Again, it was a fantastic football season. Congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers winning their first ever college football national championship in Miami a month ago. And then certainly just a few days ago, the Seattle Seahawks win their second world championship in Super Bowl 60, played in San Francisco. The Seahawks are victorious over the Patriots, and the MVP, Kenneth Walker III, the running back for the Seattle Seahawks. So again, I am Larry Spegar for the Sports Express. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a friend. And thank you for sharing and enjoying your excitement with sports.